Hi, welcome back to the show. We're here at Lala Java with Heather O'Connor of O'Connor Family Law in Westboro, talking about family law. So they don't do like reality shows for divorces. So
They should.
give us a little story that I realize it's a sad topic, but you've got to have some fun stories and uplifting stories, because sometimes when a divorce is over, it's actually a good thing for some of the folks.
Yeah, I think it is, and I hesitate with this question due to confidentiality and not.
You'll deal with it. It's only recorded.
I'm trying
it's
to
only
think
on
of
the.
stories that wouldn't be.
It's only on the internet.
Yeah, that thing that never goes away. No, I'm trying to think of the people who have left reviews that I think wouldn't mind me not going into their names but into their details. I think one of my favorite stories and experiences within what I've done with family law is I had a man come to me who was not able to see his children at all. Mom had been keeping them away, partly with good reason. He was charged with attempted murder. He had caught his wife...
But not convicted.
Not convicted.
All right.
He also had a good criminal attorney. But he had caught his wife cheating on him and had gone after the guy, which is where the attempted murder came in. No murder, no death, no serious injuries or anything like that. But basically, throughout that, Mom had twisted it quite a bit to make the kids hate their father. And so we got into court in a situation where he was in a bad place when he first came to me. It was, the blame was on her. This was her fault. And we did a lot of work because I think we are really counselors of law, but the counseling also comes in on the personal level. He also got involved with a really great therapist, started changing his viewpoint on things, taking responsibility for his own actions and how he could change things, not necessarily blaming the wife anymore. It was a long case. It was about 3 years before we got to trial. But we did a lot of work with reunification therapists, with GALs. We had, the whole kit and caboodle, and we completely changed this around where at the end of trial, we walked away with sole legal custody, sole physical custody. He got to keep the marital home. He got to keep most of his retirement account, and Mom had to pay part of my attorney fees. So it ended up with a really great result, and yes, I'll take some of the credit, but I think a lot of it had to do with how he worked on changing his behavior, his attitude, that was able to get us legally from a really bad place to a really incredible place.
That's great. So on something like that, sometimes you've got to think in terms of selling your home quickly in a divorce.
Yes.
Okay? So when you work with someone on a divorce, it's a sad topic. I'm divorced, you're divorced, person behind the camera is divorced, the guy that does the editing's divorced. So there's a large community of folks.
I'll always have a job.
Okay. What are some of your pointers to folks on selling a home quickly in a divorce?
I think one of so a home, like everything else, is an emotional piece. People grow up there, their kids grow up there, they have this envision of this is where I'm going to be for the rest of my life. And sometimes that's not realistic. So one of the most important things to do right off the bat is kind of a cost analysis as to where you are with what the mortgage is, what it would cost if you had to refinance and buy the other person out of the equity, whether or not you're even in a position to do that. We've had some people come in and their mortgage might still be under, and they're in a position where they can't support two households and continue paying. So it's a matter of trying to get that house on the market as quickly as possible to reserve as much equity or as little debt as possible. So, they have kindly, and we hand these out, created these little pamphlets on tips to sell your home. Really, really important thing to consider, because if you can do it before emotions go wild and then everybody hates each other, you're going to get a much better result. It's going to be an easier process. But people can sometimes hold on to that house thinking that it's going to give them a better position in the divorce, that they'll be able to keep it, provide for their kids, and then 2 years later they can't afford it and they end up with nothing.
Right.
So it's a really important thing to look at right from the start.
If anyone wants one of these little brochures, don't hesitate to drop a note and we will make sure that we get you a copy of the brochure and Heather's contact info.
Or you can just hire us and we send this out with our welcome packet.
All right, everyone, I want to thank Heather for joining us and the shameless self-promotion. Thank you, and tune in again.
Thank you.